Hello and welcome to another Scottish mountain walking guide. For today's walk I've travelled to the remote village of Arnisdale to climb Beinn Sgritheall. The total distance for this walk is 10 kilometres with 1,124 metres of ascent and is expected to take around 5 hours. Without snow, this is an easy route to navigate. There is no scrambling or significant exposure. You can walk close to some steep drops near the summit on the descent, and occasionally there are some big steps where you may have to put your hands on the rock to steady yourself. Links to the route, the car parking and the Scottish Mountain Weather Service can be found in the description. Parking lay-by is around 4 hours and 45 minutes drive from both Glasgow and Edinburgh and can fit around 10 or 12 vehicles. Parking is free and there are no height restrictions. Starting from the parking lay-by, you return back along the road that you drove to get to the parking lay-by, and then at this point turn off to your right. There is a small sign on the ground and you see that as you approach the parking lay-by, it's facing to the west. You go up the side of this little cottage here. You will see a gate that goes through into this woodland area, just follow that path. Walking up through the woodland, it was fairly overgrown, but the gravel path was clear and distinct all the way up through this area. You just continue to follow that. You'll go through another gate as you leave the woodland area here and go down and cross over a couple of streams. After you cross the stream, you continue to follow the gravel path. The path is clear all the way around this walk. As you go up this section, it is fairly steep, and that steepness doesn't really let off at all until you get to the first top. Make your way up this path and continue on. There is a small lock in here, so once you go around that small body of water, you bend off following the path to your left. And this is the last point where you could fill up with water before you're halfway down the other side of the mountain. To begin with, you're making your way up here following a line of fence posts. It does show a path continuing on up here. I didn't notice that on the day I was there. There was a clear path that went off to the left and I show that in the video and I followed that. Going up this section there's a bit of scree from time to time and I found keeping to the right hand side as I was ascending was quite easy. There was various different paths you could see going up through this area. Eventually you'll come up to a little cairn at the top here, and once you've made it up to that cairn the rest of the walk is really quite easy and very pleasant. There's a gentle descent down here following the path and then a fairly gentle incline up the other side. A couple of bits here that gets a little bit narrower. There are no difficulties going up this path. You get to the summit, there's a fairly large cairn and a windbreak at the summit, steep drops on the south side. Continue to follow that path in a westerly direction. This is the trickiest bit as you're descending down here. It is fairly steep. You're not overly exposed going directly down the path, but on your left hand side there is a bit of exposure. As you make your way down here, there was one point where I had to hold onto the rock as I was descending. Other than that, it's just a walk. Continue to follow that path all the way down. If it's a clear day, you will see this body of water ahead of you, and that's what you're aiming for. As you get closer to that, there's a very small cairn marking where you turn off to the left. The path itself, as you can see, does continue on straight ahead. Then you descend down here. Again, it gets fairly steep as you're descending down, and this is all a woodland area. It's a very pleasant walk at this point, coming down through the woods. It would be very difficult to navigate if there wasn't a path to follow, but the path is clear and obvious, and you follow that all the way back down to the road. There is a little bit of up and down as you're going along the road, and you just follow that road all the way back to the car park. Good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. There are not many better places to start a walk. I'm in Arnisdale. From here you head back along the road you drove in. It's about 150 yards. And then we're going to turn to the right. You can also see the ridge that we're going to walk along. It starts up this gorge on the straight ahead, and then you bend off to the left. The midges are already biting. There's a little broken down sign. It's when you come to this cottage, you want to turn up. There's a signpost up there and a gate to the start of the hill walk. The start is quite overgrown, very clear and obvious path, rocky path that you're following through the woods there. Just continue to follow the path. It's going to get a lot steeper just ahead. Just ahead, you go through the gate, cross over the stream, and you can see the path goes up the right hand side all the way up to that low point. Further up I'll get some water before we go onto the ridge properly. Fairly steep, a good path, no difficulties going up this section. I'm currently at 220 meters altitude. The summit is 974. I think there's a few false tops as you're coming up here. It looks like you've made significant progress just getting up and over this little bit, but there's a long way to go. Very calm day today. And no midges at this point. You get a little rest before the next steep section. There's still about 200 meters of altitude to climb to get to the Beinn ahead, and it's about 700 or 800 meters away. Just coming up to the lock-in, just crossing the Beinn. We go round the lock-in and then head to your left, which is straight ahead as we look, and the path zigzags up that slope there, fairly steep. We're around 600 metres at the moment, almost 400 metres to climb. A nice breeze, hard work coming up there, to be expected. The path goes round the right hand side and then bends off to the left. fence posts go up that way. We're going off to the left side now, and then go up. Some slightly loose scree, not bad. Just keep making your way up here. This just seems to keep going and going. Mostly I'm sticking to the right hand side of the little path. It gets a little bit fainter as you're crossing over this rocky section. And in total you're climbing about 300 metres from the Beinn up to the top here. And I think it's just over there, not too much further. You can now see the summit of Beinn Sgritheall. It's a little bit greyer than forecast. So a gentle descent down about 70 metres, and then the final climb up of 150 metres. That's a nice gentle decline. And then just going to start the final pull up to the summit. At the summit of Beinn Sgritheall. That last section there is just a gentle stroll, especially compared to the first ascent up to the little top over there. Yeah, it's really steep up to that first top, then a nice easy walk to the summit. It's a little bit more overcast than forecast. It's looking across the sky in the black cooling, but the visibility is quite poor. There's a reasonable windbreak at the summit here. Very nice when you're out of the wind. It's taken just under 2 hours and 45 minutes to get to this point. Stop and have something to eat and drink. Going to do a circular route from here, going to continue in a westerly direction. So it's off in that direction. Should be a nice gentle decline down the ridge, and then at some point you bend off to the left and join up with that single track road that you drive in on. As you head west, you're going along parallel to the sea down there. or the sea loch. It's a little bit steep to start with. There's a clear path to follow. We're just going to go down the right hand side of all these crags and then join the path that's further down and goes along the ridge to the left of the loch-in down there. There's a big step or two here. You need to put your hand on the rock. Nothing difficult. All of this descent, it's just a number of big steps. Some are a little bit, there's some loose gravel and a little bit slippier muddy section. Not bad, just need to be careful. There's no real exposure, so if you slipped you're not going to fall anywhere. The descent path turns off to the left just before that lock-in, so that's what you're aiming for at the moment. Get down to there. Now at this little lock-in, and there's a small cairn here to mark where you turn to the left for the descent path. This is a nice little woodland walk. It's fairly heating up in the sun. Just as well there's a clear path to follow. It wouldn't be that easy to make your way down this mountainside without it. The path brings you out onto the single track road that takes you into Arnisdale. You could leave a bike, I saw one padlocked to that passing spot sign over there, and cycle the last few kilometres into town. You just head left and walk back. It's about 3 kilometres back to the car park. Another stunning walk back to the car park. It's quite a quiet road so far, only one car's passed me. Almost back at the car park. Quite a bit of up and down on this road. Obviously quite a downhill section now into Arnisdale. Just a glorious day. I'm back at the van. About 5 hours and 10 minutes total time since leaving. It's a little bit windier down here now. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. And as always, I look forward to showing you more in the next one. Bye for now.